Everybody, and welcome back to the HabWrap. I'm your host, Terry Rice. You're listening to the friendliest and funniest source for anything and everything related to the Montreal Canadiens. Tonight, the boys in Bleu, Blanc, et Rouge played the first game of the second round series against the Buffalo Sabres. It was in Buffalo. You might be a bit confused because of the crowd at certain points in the game. But, we played the first game against the Sabres, and it was a somewhat mixed bag. I mean, we'll talk about what happens, obviously. Before we do so, we do have to get into the lines. We're just going to get right into it. Nothing that I really want to talk about right off the hop, just get right into it, because we do have a special guest that we will talk with at the first intermission. The opening lines for the Canadiens are Caulfield, Suzuki, Slafkovsky, Bolduc, Dach, Texier, Evans, Danault, Anderson, and Veleno, Newhook, Demidov. So Gallagher is a healthy scratch. I would imagine he comes in for game 2, but we shall see. Gooley, Hudson, Matheson, Carey, and Jack-Eye Dobson are on the blue line. And Jakub Dobeš obviously gets the start in net for the Canadiens, and Jacob Fowler continues to back him up. And the opening lines for the Sabres were Krebs, Thompson, Tuck, Zucker, McLeod, Quinn, Benson, Norris, Doan, and Greenway, Kozak, Mellenstein on the blue line. You've got Dahlin, Samuelson, Byram, Power, and Stanley. Timmins, Alex Lyon obviously gets the start net for the Sabres, and Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen backs him up as he should be. The only thing to note before the game was that Gallagher was a healthy scratch, and that was really it. So, to start the first period, the Habs are called for a penalty. At 30 seconds, Hudson gets called for a trip on Zach Benson. That sucks, just rotten luck to start for the Canadiens. Habs clear, Sabres come in offside. Habs clear again. Newhook has a good hit on a man at the line. The Sabres get called for an offside. Anderson clears it all the way down. Dobeš's mask comes off after a shot. The refs blow it down, and Benson starts a little bit of shit with Anderson. Really the only time that the shit disturber would actually really get anything going, surprisingly, tonight. The Habs clear a puck that almost hits McCauley at center, and the Habs are 1-for-1 on the penalty kill tonight. Greenway then elbows Veleno in a reverse hit. There's no call. Mellenstein then hits Veleno at the boards. What a shift for Joe, poor guy. Jack-Eye and Greenway then engage with each other in the right circle. Would have liked to see a bit more of that, but unfortunately they didn't get many other shifts together, if any. Hudson then hits the crossbar off a shot as he had joined a rush. There's a Matheson shot. That obviously gets held. And the Sabres score off of a 3-on-1. Hudson just bobbles a puck and trips over himself. And, unfortunately, it becomes a 3-on-1. Zach Benson gets it across to Josh Doan. And they score at 4:31. Doan gets his second of the year from Zach Benson. That sucks. You gotta play better than that, unfortunately. Poor Dobson, by the way, left to cover the 3-on-1. Caulfield has a Lafleur slapper, but that gets saved. Back the other way, Tuck goes wide on a cross crease. Matheson, of course, not covering his man. The Habs depth cycles. There's a chance for Andy, but that's saved. There's another one. Jack-Eye has a shot, but that's deflected out. Sabres don't get called on a very close icing. Could have been either or. The refs do elect not to call it, though. There's a top-line shift with some pressure, but it ends off of Gooley not being able to grab a Caulfield pass at the line. Danault's line, hard at work. Andy in the slot finds Danault, but the shot gets saved. Habs try to press, but just don't get anything. And the Canadiens go to a penalty kill with 8:30 left. Suzuki gets called for a trip. That sucks. The Habs clear early. The Habs do clear again. Dahlin then flops on a hard hit at center. Then again on a small shove. Habs clears, the Sabres try to enter again. And again. And then the Sabres score. Ryan McLeod gets his first power play goal of the season. He buries it on a rebound off of a Zach Benson shot. Dobeš tries to dive to make the Benson save, but that unfortunately leaves the net wide open, and McLeod buries it from Benson and Doan with just about 6.5 left in the first period. The Habs are 1-for-2 on the penalty kill. The Sabres, I was going to say the Habers. The Sabres look for 3 off of a Matheson bobble. Dobeš makes a save, though. Both teams get a bit of shoving going on in front. Dahlin is an elite scrum dodger at this stage. Sabres come in offside as the Habs try to get something going. The Habs then get a near 2-on-1. Texier's shot goes off the post, though. Evans somehow ends up in the net, and the Canadiens get a power play with 2 minutes left. Rasmus Dahlin is called for a interference as he shoves Evans right into the post. What a piece of shit. The Sabres do clear early. The Habs get to cycling. Mallenstein throws the body at Caulfield, who's a bit slow to get up. And off of a nice cycle, the Canadiens score with 44 seconds left. Nick Suzuki off a cross crease right in front. Suzuki buries it home. He scores from Slavkovsky and Demidov. So Suzuki on a 2-game goal streak. That's great to see. Slavkovsky with his first assist of the playoffs, first assist of the series, obviously. And Demidov gets his second playoff point this playoffs. The Habs are 1-for-1 on the power play tonight. Sabres do try to press late, but just nothing. Not much you can really do with a remaining, 34 seconds, 40 seconds, whatever. The shots are 10-6 for the Canadiens. Buffalo has a 2-1 lead after 20 minutes of play. And now, I believe that we do have a talk with a very special guest. All right, and like I said, we got a special guest. You know him very well. I know him very well. You probably know him very well. I think everybody in the world knows him very, very well. He's the incredibly talented, extremely special, the one and only Chef Camaro, Sporty. Sabres took game 1. I'll just spoil it for those of you who haven't seen it. Yeah, I understand that you have some thoughts you wanted to share on the game.
Yeah, I figured I'd stop in here and say Sabres getting to Stanley Cup. No, I'm just kidding. But just to give the other side perspective from a Sabres fan, because obviously my opinions are going to be a little bit more different than a Habs fan opinion. So I think it'd be nice for me to hop onto the HabWrap for a couple minutes just to give the opposing side. So is there anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to ask? Or go for it.
I mean, that first period, it definitely didn't go the way the Canadiens would have liked. I mean, they got on the board late, but they gave up 2 early goals. Second period, they also give up 2 goals. I haven't talked about that yet, obviously, as you guys listening would know. We're not in the second period yet, but spoilers, who cares about them? You guys are going to keep listening anyways. I just didn't think it was a great game for the Canadiens up until the third period, but I really just want to get your thoughts in general on the game, like what you thought of it and whatnot.
I thought we just played our normal Buffalo Sabres hockey. I mean, the beauty of getting out to an early lead is that you can focus more on putting emphasis defensively rather than going all out on offense and chasing from behind. So getting the first 2 goals was fantastic. I'm shocked we even scored a power play goal given how abysmal it's been so far. I'm pretty sure it was 2 of them, which is double what we had in the first round.
Yep. Already.
And double of what we had in the entire month of April.
Mm-hmm.
And know who was our second unit that got both of them. That's what happens when you don't overcomplicate things and just keep it simple. All I got to say, just from an outsider perspective, from honestly my thoughts on how the Habs looked, I thought initially they just looked sloppy, kind of like the heat kind of got to them a little bit. Obviously it's always tough playing in an opposing barn, and I saw Habs fans on Twitter already say this is a much different atmosphere than being in Tampa. It's a lot more rowdy, it's a lot more intense.
And that's even with 50% of the crowd being Habs fans.
Did you say 50?
There was a lot of red sweaters in the crowd.
I'm gonna give it 20. Because as the game went on, it seems like that sea of red in the 100s significantly decreased.
A little bit.
I mean, obviously, a few fans decided to take the early out and
beat traffic.
Because obviously, beat traffic, be first to the Peace Bridge and stuff. But
be the first to the warm showers.
Yes, be first to the warm showers, which in terms of a Habs perspective, a couple guys on the team don't deserve a warm shower tonight. I mean, Mike Matheson, he played terrible, but when hasn't he played terrible? Bash, man, his first half, I'll give him the first 2 periods, man. I can't even speak for the third because we only had 1 shot on him in the third.
Yeah.
So I will just say as a whole, he looked rusty. I don't know what happened after the first two goals, but he just did not look comfortable in the net all game
That
whatsoever.
that's the perfect way to describe it. He didn't ever feel it. It didn't feel like he ever settled in to the net and got used to it.
The
In
problem
Buffalo.
the problem was is that we scored early, which means we never exactly gave him an opportunity to settle in.
Yeah.
So we'll see how game two does, because I fully anticipate Marty and the Habs to put out a completely different response and try to find some way to break through Alex Lyon, of course.
Absolutely, and I want to point out about Dach in the first round. It usually felt, even after Tampa scored, it usually felt secure with Dach tonight, that you weren't worried he was going to allow another goal. Even when he would allow a shitty goal, it never felt like he was going to allow another one right afterwards. Whereas in this game, I got very nervous anytime that puck got near Jakub Dach. I felt like he could allow any puck in at any time. That's how it felt with me, at least.
Another note is that the first two goals, the only goal I'll put on Dach tonight was that third one. He should have had that. It still hit his glove. The first two goals were just, the first one was a shitty. Was that technically a turnover on Hudson when he slipped? That led to a 2-on-1.
I would think so.
It's basically just the Sabres capitalizing. If anything, I feel like Dach didn't play that the best. He overcommitted way too much on a shot there, rather than trying to cheat off a little bit for a pass. Second one, just a little bit of puck luck there. Scramble in front of the net. Puck went to Benson, who made a fantastic pass to McLeod. Dach had no chance on that one. I can't put that on him. Yeah. Third one, you argued before recording that it was a screen from Kozak and Matheson, who was tied up at the time, but at the same time, it was still sort of a bit of a muffin. Like, you would want a goaltender in the playoffs to make that save.
Yeah, 100%, especially on a fourth liner like Jordan Greenway. I've pointed out countless times. I don't know how many times I've pointed out Dach's glove, which is strange because his glove is fantastic in the Tampa series, but his glove tonight, it looked like early regular season Jakub Dach.
Yep.
It was not.
A Sabres beat reporter did some early scouting on Dach, and he pointed out that if you beat him once glove side,
you're not beating him there the rest of the night. Yeah.
Exactly. He ain't gonna be confident with it the rest of the game. He's gonna try to cheat it a little bit much to try to beat the puck before the shot even comes in.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yep. And on the fourth goal, the second power play goal, I don't know what happened there. Really, it was a bit of a defensive breakdown that just led Byram into the slot unmatched, unprotected.
Well, it's Mike Matheson covering him. He doesn't shove anybody away from the net, so.
And I don't even think Dach saw it, so I can't even put that on him either.
No, he had whoever that was. I think that was Doan's ass right in front of him. So.
Which, that's where he should be.
Yeah, and Matheson right in front of Doan, not doing anything, not trying to screen it, not trying to clear Doan, nothing at all. So Matheson's at fault for at least 2 goals, maybe 3 even.
I would hope as a Sabres fan that Matheson stays in, which he's going to, because I don't know why Marty loves him.
Well, he's at least a good 6th D. He just gets overplayed.
But my biggest question to you, Harry, is that from a Habs perspective, what lineup changes should I expect for Game 2?
For Game 2, assuming he is rested, I would think Veleno's out for Gallagher. Not that Veleno played bad, but just Gallagher, when he came into the lineup for Game 5, it felt like he really shifted the Canadiens' momentum, and it felt like they played better with Gallagher in. I don't think it'll happen. There's a small chance Jackie's out for Struble. Jackie got less than 8 minutes tonight, so either Marty really didn't trust him, or
Struble's gonna be coming in.
Probably, and
that's usually.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes. I don't think this will happen, but what I want to happen is you start Fowler for Game 2. I think the Sabres really solved Dach, and they really busted him open. I would not be surprised to see Jacob Fowler get a start in Game 2. At least he should, in my opinion.
The one thing that the Sabres now have that Tampa did not have at all during the series is an actual sheet and actual proof on how to properly beat Dach.
Yeah, Yeah, for some reason, Dobesh he played like Hasek in round 1. In round 2, he's playing like Jocelyn Thibault.
From Halak to Thibault.
Yeah, I saw someone put that on Twitter too.
Yeah, so did I.
I think you saw the same thing. Yeah.
He's weirdly obsessed with George Costanza though, so he's actually kind of based.
Okay, yeah, yeah, it's the same guy that we saw. It's
yeah.
the same exact guy. But yeah, no, it's.
But the main reason why I wanted to come on here is because I'm just going to ask you, from a Habs perspective, how did that third period look to you?
I thought it looked fantastic. I obviously I'm going to talk about it a little more when I get to the third, but just for like basic notes, I thought the Canadiens did a great job of controlling play. I thought the amount of puck control that they had, I thought was very good. They were outplaying Sabres to pucks more often than not. They got a couple great looks and really had a chance to tie the game up. They just weren't able to beat line, and I think that all they have to do for the next game is just build on that third period and come out stronger, look the way you did in that third period, and if you can come out strong like that, you're probably going to go home to Montreal with the series tied at 1 apiece.
All right. So now that I got that, as a Sabres fan, how do you think I should feel about that third period?
Probably pretty bad, considering that the Sabres had a grand total of 1 shot. Spoiler a little bit. They had a grand total of 1 shot. I thought that they played okay defensively. They weren't covering a lot of men, especially on the Slavkovsky chance in front. He was kind of wide open right in front of the net. I just thought the Sabres did not have a good third period defensively, and I think that they should be very concerned. Sabres fans should be very concerned if they come out looking like that to start the next game, which isn't going to happen, but on the off chance it does, I think Sabres fans should be very, very concerned.
All right, now, would you be shocked if I told you I loved how we looked in the third?
Very.
So, if this is your first time actually watching the Sabres, we played you guys 4 times this season.
Yeah, so
granted,
3 or 4 times.
Well, granted, one of those games was in October.
When the Sabres were not the Sabres.
This current technical iteration of the Sabres, you've seen 3 times, and it was still a pretty split series between that. But the Sabres play a very specific style of third period, depending on what the score is. If we're usually up by 2 goals or more, we will not look for offense whatsoever unless it's in the first 2 minutes. We take the first minute or 2, try to get a goal, which we did look for, and spoiler alert later, it's going to be in his notes, Quinn missed a wide open net. It was after that we decided to buckle in defensively, and how we play when we're up by multiple goals on the third, we do whatever it takes to not get a whistle. We try to keep things on the outside, which I think we did that fantastically against the Habs tonight. If you've noticed in the third period, yes, the Habs were getting some offensive zone time, but not a lot high danger chances in front of line or stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It was mainly just on the outside. The Habs really couldn't get anything really going until the final 5 minutes. It was really just a bunch of back and forth, simple turnover, out of the zone, line change, not enough for an icing. That is exactly the style of hockey that Lindy Ruff has coached this team to do for the third period when defending a multiple goal lead. You'll see obviously, I highly doubt that it's going to be the same outcome on Friday.
Yeah,
Friday, right?
Yes, sir.
Where we're going to have a multi-goal lead in the second, and you'll see it's going to be a much different. If it's a 1-goal lead, we'll push more for offense because, especially against a team like Habs who know how to score, especially in bunches,
mm-hmm.
a 1-goal lead is definitely not safe enough to hold for an entire period. Absolutely not.
Not
especially
at all. And the Canadiens know far too well about that.
Yep. And if the game is tied, it'd just be exactly like how the game was going already. We wouldn't make any changes. And we would just trust to get a goal at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're down, yada, 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 we'll be cheating a little bit more offensively while letting the defense just kind of out there.
So in other words, the Habs should let the Sabres go up by 1, or the Habs should go up by 1 and hope the Sabres cheat so they can try and get some 2-on-1s going back the other way.
Yes. Obviously, it is a little bit more important. It's obviously, dumb to say, but getting the first goal in a series against the Habs and the Sabres is very, very, very important.
Definitely.
Because you do not want to be, especially with the team. I'll just ask this real quick. In terms of high danger chances and like odd man rushes, have you noticed a massive increase compared to the Tampa series?
Just a little bit.
Yeah,
just a couple.
Sabres beat reporter. Well, I wouldn't even say he's a beat reporter. I wouldn't even say he's an insider. Chad DiDomenicus.
Mm-hmm.
He counted it halfway through the game 8 odd man rushes for the Sabres.
Jesus.
In the first round against Boston,
we had 5.
7.
Oh, 7. Ooh.
Montreal plays less in your face because, well, that's not the team they're built to be. They're not like really like in your face, locked down defensively. Like, it's the same way between that the Habs and the Sabres are. You will get offensive scoring chances, and all that matters is that you have the reliable goaltending, which in the first round both teams got. Tonight, the Sabres got. Dobech, not much.
Very shaky.
Yep. And I'm more than thrilled with how he looked in the third because it's the exact same blueprint that we've had this entire season since December, essentially. Yeah. The best example I guess I can say, Harry, is I believe tonight there was a period of I think over 7 minutes of game time without a whistle.
That sounds
in the third.
Accurate.
That's exactly what we do. We make sure there isn't a whistle, and the only whistles will be for commercial breaks, essentially. Unless we try to not ice the puck. If a shot, if like say like Hudson throws a puck on nets, and if there's enough of a lane, pun not intended, obviously, that was just completely unintended. Lyon will probably try to play the puck.
Okay, so he's very much like Dobech, who loves to play the puck.
No, like keep the play flow going.
Okay.
And
so basically, just
get it out.
Typically, bunch of back and forth chances almost.
Not in the third. Usually, a good solid defensive third period usually does end with the Sabres only getting about 1, 2, or 3 shots. We focus 100% on defense the final 18 minutes.
That's gonna cost you at some point. Don't know if it's gonna be against the Canadiens, against the Hurricanes, or whoever the Sabres potentially play in the finals. But it's gonna cost. I
guess I could say the best example of the no real whistles. Last month, we played the New York Rangers. It was the day or two before the trade deadline. We played the Rangers.
Yeah.
I shit you not. The third period started, and the game was actually tied. It was either tied or we were up by 1. From puck drop, take a guess at what the time was for the first commercial break.
7:18. 7:18 remaining.
It was, I shit you not, 1 minute and 5 seconds.
Really?
We scored 2 goals.
Yeah. Obviously, you can't take commercial break off of that.
Yep. I mean, it was the Rangers, obviously, so obviously it was going to be low energy. But we stuck to our game, and from puck drop to the end, to the final buzzer, it was 25 real-life minutes. A period usually takes about 45, 50.
Jesus.
So if we can get a quick third period from start to end,
they will go for it.
With same score, maybe 1 goal the other way. If we have a 2-goal lead and only 1 goal is scored, you still win the game. From either end, as long as you stick to the defensive play style that you have, you're good. Because, like, you might see it differently. I didn't see that many high-quality chances in the third, except for when they were the time wasn't exactly on Montreal's side anymore, and they were really pushing for stuff.
Yeah?
They couldn't get anything going, man. Like, the first real, like, major zone time for the Habs was under 5 minutes. We killed off 15 minutes doing absolutely nothing. It was just, I'm sure you'll probably note it too, like, it was a very low event.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, despite the 11 shots, the Canadiens really only got like 3 good scoring chances. The rest of them were straight on.
And that's the thing, and that's also trusting your goaltender to make a save, like, when there is, like, a breakdown, because obviously in a 20-minute period, there is going to be a breakdown or two.
Yeah. It's just a guarantee.
Yeah, you trust your goaltender to make the save. Which Lyon did tonight. Obviously, like, it's going to be different every game, obviously. No game is going to be the same, but I just wanted to come in and clear the confusion. While it may look like the Habs did dominate in terms of puck possession, shots on goal, I think the Sabres just did their job.
Yeah, I mean that sounds about right.
Obviously, you say build off the third period. What is there to build off? You guys didn't score.
Just good chances. Get good chances. You had momentum for a large portion of that third. Even if the Sabres were playing shutdown D, you got good opportunities. You got a couple good chances. Build off the good momentum and come out in the next game and just play better than you did in the first in this game. That's for damn sure.
All right. But regardless, at the end of it all, fun game. Maybe not for you. And I say this. What do I say? I say it every time the Sabres play the Habs. Man, is it a fun-ass game to watch.
Yes, it is. It always is. It always is. The Jeff Skinner hat trick 6 years ago?
He had 4 goals.
4 goal game 5 years ago, 4 years ago, whenever it was.
He had a 4-goal game, and absolutely nobody was in Bell Center to watch it.
Yeah. Because they didn't sell tickets to that game. It was the 2021 Sabres. I don't think anybody would want to go to that game anyways. But
it was in Montreal, though.
Still. They want to see them play a good team. Like the 2026 Buffalo Sabres.
I'm pretty sure we had your number that year, too.
You did. Well, then again, I think it was 2019 Red Wings swept us.
That was also the year that you guys won the draft lottery, so...
No, that was 2022.
Yeah, it was 21-20. That was 21-22.
Yeah.
That was the Skinner 4-goal game.
I didn't realize it was that year, but yeah. That was definitely a season.
Who cares? You got Slavkovsky out of it.
Hell yeah, we got the best 2 players in that draft anyways, so...
Hey, don't be dissing Noah Ostlund.
Yeah, Ostlund could be top 10. He's definitely not better than Logan Cooley.
You got yourself a goddamn deal.
Alrighty. Alright, Sporty, thank you for coming by. It was a pleasure to talk with you, as always, have you on the podcast. Can we... possibly expect to see you again at some point in the series?
I would say so.
All right.
Definitely. I just wanted to come by and clear the air to the Habs fans that just to explain how we play our game.
Yeah, who don't usually get to see the Sabres play, which more than the 4 times we play them a season.
Yeah. Right. Real quick, before I go, compared to the 3-game series that we had in 3 weeks in January, how much different did both teams look, do you think, from your memory?
Much different. I remember the Sabres playing a much more feisty style, especially by that 3rd game, which, I mean, you play 3 times that quick of a span in the regular season, you're not going to like each other at all. But the Sabres were playing very feisty. The Canadiens played feisty. This game, very much just go out, get shit done. Very, very few scrums.
It's crazy because, that January was essentially a mini playoff series.
Basically, yeah. And
I just want to check the hits in the game.
Not many. For this game?
31-27 in favor of the Habs.
Yeah, really not much at all.
Holy shit, y'all dominated on the face-off dots tonight.
Yeah, 63%, yeah.
Man, do we need Carrick back.
Well, you might be in for game 2. Very likely.
Maybe.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Well, thanks for having me on, man. GG's as always.
Of course.
And see you Saturday.
Hell yeah. See you Friday, you mean.
Oh, shut up. You go.
That was Sporty. Everybody say hello and goodbye, Sporty, in the comments. Shout out the absolute legend. We're going to get you back to a probably better, slightly quality mic for the second and third period. Take it away, Audacity Harry. Goodbye from OBS Harry. And we are back. I hope you really enjoyed that, 20-minute talk with Chev Camaro, a.k.a. Sporty. I always have a lot of fun talking with the dude on the show. Hopefully, we get to hear more from him in the series. If you want to hear more from him as well, comment down below that you want to hear more from Chev or Sporty, whatever you want to call him, because believe me, it is greatly appreciated. In the second period now, Thompson in the slot has a pad save by Dobesh early on. Benson has space. Gooley ends up breaking that up. That comes off of an icing from Jackeye. And then the Sabres score. Matheson doesn't clear the trash from the net. I believe that was Kozak screening right in front. Dobesh is given no chance on a Greenway wrister. Greenway gets his second goal of the season. First of the playoffs, it is 3-1 Sabres. Dobesh also has to be able to make that save. You need your goalie to make saves that he normally wouldn't be able to, especially coming off the high standards that he set for himself in that first round against Tampa. You need Dobesh to make that save at the very least. I put this game as over, and spoiler, that ends up being the game-winning goal. So yeah, just Mike Matheson is horrible defensively, doesn't know how to clear the front of the net, and God, I swear to God, if this dude is the reason that 5 more goals go in this series, I am going to harm something. No humans, but I'm definitely going to harm something. The Sabres ice a puck at 4 minutes. The top line press. There's a shot almost deflected in, but line holds. Sabres press for the 4-1 lead. They're not going to get it yet, though. The Habs are barely holding on at this stage. Sabres do hit the post on a rush after a draw in the Sabres zone. And then at 7:30, the Habs go to the penalty kill. Gooley's called for a cross-check. It's a weak one. It's only called because the stick breaks, so I guess it's fair, but, not really. The Habs clear. Dahlin ends up hitting a post. Bolduc dumps a puck all the way down. Danault gets a clear to center. Dobesh holds a shot from the line. Andy goes at it with a man behind the net right after that. And then they score. Dobesh cannot make a save at this stage in the game. Bowen Byram scores on just a horrible, he screened. It's a double screen. It's not horrible on him, on Dobesh. Firstly, he's looking right at Josh Doan's ass. He cannot see the puck whatsoever. And also, Mike Matheson, firstly, shout out with the very failed clear off the draw, but he then just stands in front of Josh Doan and expects Doan to move, who obviously doesn't because he's still screening Jakub Dobesh. So 3 goals in this game that you can easily blame on Mike Matheson. I would very much like to see Matheson defenders try and defend him for this type of game. Oh, well, Lane on the first goal. Shut the fuck up. Mike Matheson is horrible. The fact that he's only a -1 is hilarious, considering that the two of the 3 goals that are scored on the Canadiens were on the power play, and those obviously don't count towards plus-minus. When you think about it, they probably should, but still, somehow Mike Matheson only ends the night a -1. Yeah. So the Canadiens are 1 for 3 on the penalty kill tonight, and then the Sabres go to the penalty kill. Malenstein gets called for 2 for a cross-check in 9 minutes. The Sabres do clear. 40 seconds in, the Habs get zone time, trying to find someone open. Slav is open on the right. Hudson ends up going to Caulfield, who is covered already. This Demidov shot deflected and saved. There's another one from Demidov, but that's deflected out of play. The Habs end up 0 for 2 on the power play tonight. There's a Dahlin shot into the glove of Dobesh, and that gets held. Sabres do ice a puck with 7 minutes left. Just a horrible effort by the Canadiens at this stage in the game. It's going to flip pretty soon, though, just a little bit. The Sabres do keep the Canadiens hemmed in for about a minute. There's 1 shot off the post. Surprisingly, that's all they get, just trying to kill time at this stage. Sabres do go back right to work, Dobesh makes his best save of the night on a rebound chance. Hudson gets a clear. He was on the ice for about 2.5 minutes. Very tired there, obviously. And we get a little bit of a scrum started. So Stanley goes at it with Kirby Dach. I don't think Dach was the man going after Stanley, but Dach goes after him. And everybody gets tied up except who else but the man wearing the A on the ice, Mike Matheson, who just stands at the blue line as if he's waiting to receive a pass. Instead of going in to defend his teammates, he stays at the blue line. Disgusting. There's another small scrum, but the refs quickly get in to stop any physicality. And then the Canadiens score, and what, funny enough, might end up being a potential goal of the playoffs. So Kirby Dach, off of a puck being cleared, it's taken away, it gets to him. Thompson's, I believe it's Thompson, is trying to cover him, and Dach tries to go around him. He's sort of tripped up, but not really. It's kind of hard to describe. But he gets a shot off, and then as he's falling, gets his stick on the rebound and just flips it on net. And some way it beats Alex Lyon. Kirby Dach makes this a 4-2 game with about 3.5 minutes left. Genuinely, that might be on the same level as like Paul Byron versus Toronto, with how phenomenal that goal was. Kirby Dach arguably has been one of the Canadiens' best players since those death threats came in at him. So, yeah, Dach, just damn good goal there. He scores, and Bolduc surprisingly gets the lone assist there. Zach Bolduc, very quietly, solid playoffs so far. We'll talk about him in the stats, obviously. But, off a little bit of zone time, by the way. That's what ends up causing the goal. It gets to center. Quick turnover. Bolduc gets it to Dach. That's how it ends up in the net. Canadiens make it a 4-2 game, and it goes from being arguably a blowout to a little closer. We'll see if the Canadiens have what it takes to potentially make the comeback. Potential spoiler, though. Newhook has some good dekes nearly on a break. Byram with a good stick, though, to break that up. Newhook barely got on almost had that break, but Byram with a good stick. The Sabres press. Habs end up breaking that up. There's some zone time for Montreal. Habs do press off of a near offside. Hudson does set things up, but there's a late shot that just gets deflected wide. And that does it for the second period. The shots are 18-14 for the Canadiens, and it's a 4-2 Sabres lead after the second period. For the third period, 9 seconds in, Caulfield has a one-timer on a 2-on-1. That gets saved and held. That comes off of, I forget who it was, trying to look for a big hit. I think that was Samuelson, trying to look for a big hit. I believe it was Suzuki. Avoids it, and that's what causes the 2-on-1. So early on, Canadiens with a good chance. The Habs with some pressure early on, just can't find anything behind Lyon. Quinn in the slot has a shot, but that is just wide. Jesus. Back the other way, Dach has a near break, but Lyon comes out to play it away. The Sabres ice a puck at 3:40. After a little bit more Canadiens pressure, they were starting to get some momentum here at this stage. Thompson on a rush, he finds Tuck, who goes around the net, but the wrap try doesn't go. Matheson starts a press. There's a new hook wrister that gets gloved by Lyon. The shots are 5-0 Habs at 5 minutes. Krebs and Dach go at it after an icing. Krebs doesn't want to drop the gloves because he's a pussy. Gooley also gets downed after a shot block. He would miss, I think, 1, maybe 2 shifts. He was basically right back out there. Just one of those things where, ow, I'm sore, give me a minute, please and thank you. And he was right back out there, basically. The Sabres do ice a puck after a near shot by Tuck. That goes wide past Dobesh. The game had slowed down big time after a few minutes. The Habs trying to find a way to get a shot, to get a rush. The Sabres just weren't letting it happen, though. Tuck hits the post halfway through the period. Anderson almost gets on a break the other way, but Timmins is there to break that up. Matheson fans on a shot, and that nearly creates a chance for Jason Zucker, who had been very quiet for most of tonight, surprisingly. The Habs do get some zone time. Slav has a shot, but that's saved, and that's all before the Sabres get a clear. Jack has a shot deflected out of play. Jack had less than 8 minutes tonight. Something unfortunately tells me he's going to be out for Struble. Jack probably won't be needed much this series, unfortunately, because the Sabres play a very different game to the Lightning. They do not play a overly physical, try to get dirty, try to take you out type game. They're very much a team kind of like the Canadiens, where they'll hit to get you off the puck. But it's not like, hey, we hate you, we're going to take you out. It's just, give me the puck. I was talking with Chev Camaro earlier before the game, and we were basically saying the same thing. It's just one of those, like, get off the puck, give me the puck. That's the type of physicality both teams have. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that as much as we did. But, yeah, there's not much coming for the Canadiens. There is zone time for the Habs, but not much. At 4 minutes left, the Sabres are just playing stable defense at this stage. There is an Evans shot that hits Dahlin on a rebound. There's a look, but just not in the net. Dahlin was downed, would go to the back. If he's out for Game 2, Game 1 has been accomplished. There's another look as Dobeš leaves to the bench. He reaches it with 3 minutes left. Sabres nearly ice a puck, but the Habs go back the other way. Slavkovsky has a shot gloved by Lyon. I believe it was Quinn misses on an empty net try at some stage. Caulfield finds Slav in front. Very good save there. Habs do get called on an offside with 1:40 left for a puck that looked like it wasn't out. Might have been, but it didn't look like it was. Marty calls his timeout with 1:31 left in the game. Habs do press, but just nothing behind Lion Sabres with a very suffocating defensive style. And that does it. The final shots are 28-16 for the Canadiens. The final score, 4-2 Sabres, unfortunately. Again, not horribly mad at this game, as I talked about earlier with Chev. The Canadiens dominated the third. Lyon was fantastic. Just need to be able to finish. That's really it. If the Canadiens can build off of this, the third period, if they're able to build off this third period and start the first similar to this, and they're able to get more chances, they just got to be able to finish. Caulfield, he's probably due for a goal. I think so, at least. Caulfield's due for a goal. Demidov's arguably due for a goal. I think there's a couple guys on this team that are due, and we shall see if that happens in Game 2. We'll see if it happens at all during the series, but I think the Canadiens, they just need to go out, play the way they did in that third period, and just hope they can find holes in the Sabres game, the way that they seem to find holes in the Canadiens game tonight. So, yeah, that is going to do it for the game portion. We're at about 40 minutes. We're going to get to the stats, and then work our way on out of here, of course. The Sabres, I feel like I don't need to mention because it's just Game 1, but they obviously do now lead the series 1-0. We will play again Friday night. That is another 7 p.m. start, so we shall see how that one goes. Hopefully a little bit better for the boys in Bleu, Blanc, et Rouge, but that's why you play the games, because you don't know until it happens. All right, let's get to the stats. Nick Suzuki leads the Canadiens with 2 goals and 5 assists for 7 points. Lane Hudson, 2 goals, 4 assists, 6 points on the playoffs for him. Zach Bolduc, a goal and 4 assists for 5 points. Yeah, surprisingly, Bolduc, one of the better offensive forwards so far. Slavkovsky and Kirby Dach, each with 3 goals and an assist for 4 points. Alexander Texier, 2 goals and 2 assists for 4 points. Caulfield with a goal and 3 assists for 4 points. Caden Gooley, 4 assists. Shout out him. Josh Anderson, 2 goals and an assist for 3 points. Alex Newhook with a goal and an assist for 2 points. Ivan Demidov with 2 assists. Brendan Gallagher with a goal. And Alex Carrier, Mike Matheson, Phil Deneau, Jake Evans, and Arbor Jacki, all with an assist these playoffs. Slavkovsky, the only Montreal Canadian with a fight thus far. Jakub Dobeš, also the only Canadiens goalie to have played so far. He has a 4-2-2 record, a 2.28 goals against average, and a .910 save percentage, despite the unfortunately low save percentage tonight, which was if I can get it pointed out, a .950. So goes to show you how pretty damn good he was in that first round. When a .750 takes you to only having a .910 save percentage, pretty respectable. Just gotta hope they don't do that again. They don't score goals like that on Dobeš. So yeah, that is going to do it for this episode of the HabWrap. Thank you all so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Hit the follow button if you're on Spotify, Amazon, wherever you might be listening to the podcast on. And please remember to share as well. Anybody who you think might enjoy listening, such as a fellow Montreal Canadiens fan, a hockey fan who's maybe looking for a Canadiens podcast, or somebody who you think just might enjoy listening to a fat kid from Quebec talk about the Montreal Canadiens for 30 to 40 minutes after every game. Again, that is going to do it for this episode of the HabWrap. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Harry Rice, and always remember, no matter how good we were like last year, how pretty good we are like this year, or how fantastic we're going to be in the future, go Habs go, Adi Montreal, and say it with me, everybody, c'est la boue!